Whew. All right. Welcome to the state of the franchise for the Rams and J Corb, another multi-time Super Bowl champ, as with Cody, and also another top five GM, as with Cody. Um, Although this team is not a Super Bowl contender, they are 3-3 right now, which is crazy to think, but they've been doing good things so far. But so, as with every other team, we'll start with the quarterback. And you have Jared Goff and his $53 million penalty. I don't think he's played in a while. But, yeah. The quicker Corb can get out of this contract, the better. I think he must be starting Mullins, right? At least it looks like he's been starting Mullins. Maybe he started Wolford. I think everybody's gotten some run here. But none of these guys are the future. Goff is... He's accurate, I guess, but, I mean, when you look at his traits, he's triggers happy, and he's ideal forcing passes, but that trigger happy, he's going to be... When he's under pressure, he's just not going to be able to get it done. So he's got to move on from Goff. He's got multiple first-round picks that he can use to address the quarterback. He can take, if he ends up losing enough, he could be in range to take Lawrence or Fields. He could also roll the dice on somebody like a Trey Lance, but he also doesn't have any picks after the third round, so he's gonna have and he's got holes, so it's good that these picks are early. Projected right now 3 in the top 76, 5 in the top 100 is good. But he's got Leonard Fournette, so he's got a strong running game because Cam Akers is good too, so he's got a good 1-2 punch here. Even Darrell Henderson, not bad. He doesn't have to do anything at the running back position. Fullback, he doesn't have one. Again, not a big deal. Wide receiver, he's going to have to... If Mims can develop, then he's fine. Because you can roll Mims and Woods out here. Woods for a couple more seasons before he isn't the same player. Even Van Jefferson's not bad. But Mims is the guy, I think. Mims is the guy for the future. If he can get some kind of dev. But, for a guy with 92 speed, you're not seeing anything along of 12. That's an indictment of the quarterbacks, I think, more than on Mims himself. But he's got to break some tackles. He's far too fast and agile to only be getting, 88 yards on 12 catches. Tight end, he's set. He can keep rolling out Tyler Higbee, and I like Hopkins. I think Hopkins is a great number 2 tight end, and can develop if he gets reps. Normal dev, not a big deal. Offensive line. Gross is, I think, realistically the only, like, Havenstein is good. He'll be around for a couple seasons, but Gross is the only long-term starter you have on this team. You're going to have to address the tackle. You're going to have to address center. Right guard is a mess. So, I mean, those are picks that you have to make in the next year or two. Or free agent signings, but I don't know how much cap you're going to have. But offensive line, it's amazing that you're 3-3 with an offensive line like this, but good on you, Corb. Defensive line, nothing needs to be done here. Sampson and Aaron Donald are studs. If you want to trade Donald for picks, that's a move you can make. Michael Brockers is good. A'Shawn Robinson is a good, number 2 D tackle. And it looks like maybe Brockers just got re-signed. So yeah, you've got Brockers locked up for a couple more years after this season, which is good. Leonard Floyd is a fine pass rushing outside linebacker. He's not going to bring you much more. You've got to get a stud in the middle of your defense. None of these guys are going to do it. They're all just mediocre talents. But, Kenny Young, if Kenny Young or Ja'Kai Polite, if either one of them could dev up, that would be huge. Neither one of them has dev, but, I mean, Kenny Young could be a really good player. He's got, he doesn't really have any pass rush moves like Polite does, but he could still be a good, rotational piece. You're set at number 1 corner. I don't know if you're going to plan on re-signing Ramsey or not. It depends on what the contract looks like, but you've got your pick back for Ramsey for this season, so that's not bad. But you need depth. Bryce Hall, all these guys are they're okay. None of them should be your number 2 corner. If you want, Long could be a really solid slot corner number 3 guy. But outside of that, you don't want to. Tease Tabor shouldn't be on the field. It's too slow. Same with Adonis Alexander, too slow. Bryce Hall, Bryce Hall is big enough that if he fits well, he could play safety, but you're good at safety. You've got young guys at safety. Burgess and Rapper, 2 guys who are pretty good. So you're set at safety if you don't want to make any moves. These guys can be fine. There's a lot of holes on this team, and I think the cap situation is pretty rough. If I remember correctly, it's not a situation where, I mean, you've got some cap room this year, but you're paying, I guess you only have 2 big contracts, but if you re-sign Ramsey, then you've got a 3rd one, and you've just got holes all over this roster, and the Goff money is just too much to have on your books. So, and then if you look at the schedule, I don't think it gets any easier for Corb. I think he's got some pretty difficult games coming up. He's won 3 in a row, but it's been against, other than this game, really, it's been against nobody. He could extend his winning streak to 5 pretty easily, but then Seahawks, Bucks, 49ers, Cardinals, Pats, Jets, Seahawks, 49ers. I just don't see a way that he could win any of these games down the stretch outside of another game like this one. These are some of the best. I mean, this this 4-game stretch right here might be the toughest 4-game stretch in all of NFL GM League this season. Like, that's just at the Bucks, come back home, play the 49ers, go to Arizona, and then come back and play the Pats. Like, that's just a recipe for disaster. So if I was Corb, I would definitely look into taking a quarterback with I would definitely look at taking a QB with one of my first picks, and then I'm definitely looking at offensive line after that. And receiver seems like a strength, or like at least it's equal. But if Mims doesn't turn it on, you have to go out and get a different or another wide receiver. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddell, Justin Ross, somebody like that to plug in here, because you have Reynolds is that type of guy also. But yeah, I would. Line is a must. You have to go out and get offensive line, and then maybe with one of your third rounders, you do a corner, to build this depth. But so if anybody has any questions, I'll stick around for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna hop right into doing fills after this. So I'll do the spin, and then I'll hop into fills. So. The spin. Thanks for coming to this one. I